like to welcome everybody to the March Elizabethton City Schools Board of Education meeting. Hope everybody's all sugared up from all the good cake, and we'd like to thank Felicia and who else was involved in putting this together?
Karen Vance.
And Karen for doing all of this. That was great. So when you see them, thank them. If you would please rise, and we're going to have a moment of silence and pledge the flag.
Let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We've had just a little slight change. Hannah had to leave with family emergency, and Melena Griffey is going to be our liaison for next year, and they thought, well, she might as well just come on up here and try the seat out. So we will not put you on the spot, but you can kind of see how super scary we are not.
Absolutely.
Dr. G, I think we're going to recognize some people.
We are. Do you have Jordan Teague?
Are we good? All right, so this is Jordan Teague. She's one of the couple students we're going to recognize tonight. If you don't or haven't heard yet, Jordan has been named a Roan Scholar this year. And if I could, just very quickly, what I'd like to do is read you a brief blurb off the Roan Scholars website to kind of let you know really what that means. They say the Roan Scholars Leadership Program inspires and develops transformative leaders to impact our world. We believe leaders of character who can make an impact are needed now as much as ever. We believe truly excellent leaders constantly strive to learn and grow, identify and tackle problems, serve and impact those around them. We seek eligible high school seniors with outstanding character who already demonstrate leadership potential and intellectual curiosity, but have the capacity for more, the desire to make a difference in their communities and their future professions, and the drive to do so. And I can't think of a better way to describe Jordan than the way that pastor up there does. She's an incredible student, a classical pianist, right? Plays in the tennis team, is a leader in the band, and is just an all-around great person. Jordan, is it bioengineering, right? Is what you're wanting to do in college? Still figuring things out. Something above me. So basically, what we're looking at there. But she's an incredible young woman. We're very proud of her. I just wanted to honor her tonight. So, anything you want to say?
Sure. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for recognizing me. I see a lot of familiar faces, people from middle school, elementary school. I just want to say, like, in high school, you always feel like you're on the edge of something. Like, I'm about to go to summer break, about to go to West Point, about to maybe go to ETSU, about to graduate, woohoo, about to get snow. And it's like,
Thank you for working
but
that in.
you know, you're always like on the edge. You're always waiting for something new to happen. And then what's happening before that? What's happening the past 3 months that we've been in school? Like, what's been happening the past 4 years of my life? So it's a little nerve-wracking being up here. But I just wanted to say, like, a big part of, like, being in high school is self-discovery. I'm about to discover who I am, what I want to do, who I want to help out there. And bioengineering, ETSU, being a Roan Scholar, like, I didn't even know what the Roan Scholarship was when I turned the essay into the counseling office, in all honesty. But it's obviously something incredible. It's a big financial award and also gives you great experiences. And there are a lot of teachers in the school system who helped me get here, my parents, obviously. So I guess I just want to say, like, high school's not easy. College isn't any easier. Neither is adulthood. And then eventually you die, and that's not easy either.
You said board meetings aren't fun.
But, you know, I feel like I've been so focused. Like, I had volunteered at the dinner for Bartleby, And I helped Mr. Schertz cook that dinner, and he is so cool, by the way.
Yes.
I didn't know we had a new culinary teacher, and then I volunteered, and you know he's got the mustache and stuff. But so at that dinner, it was a lot of fun. I had never taken culinary. You know, I did band because a leadership position looks good on an application, which I also really enjoy band, and Mr. Elliott's an important figure in my life. But I realized I focused so much on academics. It's like I haven't enjoyed the past 4 years, so. I have, obviously, but, you know, it's been stressful, and it's like, why didn't I do the things that I knew would be enjoyable? Or maybe I didn't know, and I didn't try something new. But I'm going to change that in college. So now I know, you know. But, yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for listening to the few words I have to say. I guess I just, you know, like I'm a student, and so you guys like hearing from students because we have a student liaison now. Congratulations, Melina. But, yeah, just, where am I going? I don't know.
Thank you.
Oh, you got it.
Okay.
Just Photoshop Tyler out.
Yeah.
I hate being in those photos.
Mr. Boatman. Mr. Boatman, would you like to stay for just a second? Yes. The second recognition will be for Nestor Grubb for his appointment to West Point.
Okay, so second student I get to brag on the night. This is Nestor Grubb. I've known Nestor for 4 years now. Coached him in football as a freshman. I get for 2 years. I got for 2 years, I think, coaching. He's an incredibly quiet individual most days, and that causes him to be underestimated a lot of days, I think. He's a very strong individual. He knows who he is, what he believes in, and he knows where he wants to go. And he asked me to write a letter of recommendation for him for West Point, and I was very happy to do that. Even more happy we found out that he got in. He's an incredible young man. He's going to be a great leader for our country one day, and we're very proud of him. So, Nestor, anything you'd like to say?
Well, especially you know, thank you for what you did for me, you know, not just as a coach, but as a principal. You've been an amazing principal, and then, you know, just people I've noticed from past, like Mr. Berry, Coach Hurley, you know, you were a very important part of my freshman year, you know, in football, and just thank you to everybody. You know, thank you guys for having me tonight, and just thank you to everybody who's made this possible.
I want you to come back and you dress whites.
Fix my hair.
Right.
And our
Oh,
last.
wait a minute.
Oh,
We're
I'm
getting
so
a picture
sorry.
with the big stuff.
That's awesome.
Nestor, congratulations.
Yeah. It's not very many students in the United States are admitted to the Service Academy, especially West Point. So, congrats. And Hannah could not be here, but we will say for our Bartleby folks that are out there, we have had an amazing month. We've had an amazing year this year, and you all have worked very hard, and we appreciate all that you've done, all of you, to try to get our students ready to compete. We had so many good compliments from our Northeast State showing what our students were able to do. Mr. Boatman shared today that we had one of the gentlemen had called, and he sent it on to me, saying that he represented a large firm in our area and said they would hire our students absolutely. And so
Wow.
that was fantastic to get that type of feedback just from being able to interview them. And they said that our students were far and above ahead and of the clan of 300 other students that were there. Okay.
All right, so next month we are going to hear from our Bartleby students. Excellent. All right, it's time for citizens to speak in accordance with Board Policy 1.404, but since no one asked to be placed on the agenda, moving on. So it's time to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
One change we need to make, item number 10 off of the regular agenda. We're going to pull that one and move it to April, which is graduation requirements as revised. And then if everybody on the board would be agreeable, we can take item 8, 9, and then 11 through 15 and vote on them as one, if you guys would like to do that. And then we can talk about anything, but, you know, since they're basically, we're doing some housekeeping, so.
You need a motion to do that?
I'd love a motion to do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Second. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I will be recusing myself from the vote due to a family member being on the agenda.
Okay. All right. So the item on the floor is to approve the consent and regular agenda, pulling item 10 and voting 8, 9, and 11 through 15 as one item. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Time for Mr. Berry.
Good evening, guys. First off, I'd like to say it's just awesome seeing Nestor and Jordan 4 short years and getting to see what these young adults are getting to do with their life is very impressive. That's one of my favorite times is getting to go down to the high school when they do the awards ceremony that day and seeing what everybody's getting to do. So that's excellent. Just real briefly, T.A. Duggar, the middle. Oftentimes being in the middle gets a bad rap. For example, how many of you are aware that today is Happy Middle Child Day?
I'm a middle child.
Well, the joke was, oh, you didn't notice it was Middle Child Day? Of course not.
Of course not.
So, I'm not a middle child, so I don't know.
Well,
Write that
Mr.
down for
Isaacs
next
and
year.
I expect to be adored the rest of the meeting now.
Yeah, good. But it may not be Middle Child Day, but Middle Child Day, but it is March's Middle Level Education Month, and I'm extremely proud of all of my teachers and staff members. We embrace the fact that we get to receive our 5th grade children from all 3 of our elementary schools, and then as we transition those, we get to send young adults to our 9th grade at the Elizabethton High School, and we're very proud of that. This year, some of the changes we've made, we've adapted our schedule to really assist those students that are in need. We've created a TAD Summit class, which helps with specifically language arts and math skills. And we've also kind of addressed our RTI schedule, giving more time for Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 1 to improve those same skills across the grade levels. One of the new classes that we're really excited about, Mr. Smithill is teaching a TAD Life class, and this is specifically for our 6th grade students. Middle school is a weird and awkward time, and I think if most of us look back to that can recall that. But this class is specifically set up to help with social skills, simple moral skills, but just get them out of that maybe the childhood areas of the elementary school and get them prepared for life at T.A. Duggar and eventually moving on to the high school. And we're very happy with the process of that. Throughout this year, our athletic programs have had an excellent year, and we're extremely proud of what I would consider the best middle school band program in the state. We're just very lucky for what we've got. Overall, we're proud of the fact that we bridge our elementary schools and our high school. In the same manner, we look forward to bridging the past with the future. We've got what I consider the crown jewel in Elizabethton City Schools with our school building. Obviously first being the high school and then now the middle school and having 76 years of tradition there. And we look forward to bridging that with the future as we look at doing building expansions. We're just excited about that. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
I had this terrible habit of forgetting our principals, so I put it in front of Dr. Gardenauer, so that way I wouldn't forget. Now, Dr. Gardenauer, your report.
Okay. I would like to introduce the board. There is, I checked with insurance today. There is an opportunity for board if you would need insurance to get it through the school system. That's something that's
become available, and we would certainly look at doing that. We need to know what the interest is among the board, so if you want to let me know, please do so.
You're paying for that, correct?
Yeah, basically, that's what
I'm interested. Go ahead and put me down.
Yeah. We work out a deal of some sort. No, just kidding. But that is available. If you have questions, please ask us. School bus logistics, we gave out the report from School Bus Logistics that they came up with. As I said during the budget workshop, much ado about nothing, I think, based on the fact that I think that the routes that we currently have and what we're doing, but it's important to know sometimes that what we're doing is efficient and what we're doing works. And they didn't come up with a lot of things. They came up with some suggestions that we have looked at. But at this point, I think that based on what we have and our conditions we have the best running route that we could. And thank you, Mr. Hutchins,
Good
for
job, Mr. Hutchins.
his work on transportation for a long period of time, and hopefully for a lot longer period of time. He keeps hoping that I'll move him out of transportation someday. That won't happen. He does too good of a job. Congrats to Hannah.
Shot yourself in the foot, did you?
Yeah, he did. He's just being too good at something. Congrats to Hannah and to all our students who competed well. And we, as a result of our students and what they've been doing, the dinner that we had with XQ was really fruitful. I think that Terry and our teachers, Dr. Newman, they worked, and Travis Thompson, they worked really hard on the proposal and really had an impressive showing. And it came from the commitment and work that's happened. And I think that one of the things that sets us apart is that we took, with a small amount of money, we took a lot of ideas and we tried to work on those, and we're trying to infuse that in our school. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the other schools that are participating in XQ other than to say you will not find a more hardworking group than our group, and we're proud of that. And I think that's really what has attracted XQ to maybe look at other opportunities with us moving forward for the future. So great job, all.
And by the way, the dinner was ridiculously good.
Mr. Shirts and his mustache, they
He
came through.
and his mustache
was.
absolutely
It was
knocked it out of the
wonderful.
park.
It was phenomenal. One of the things I wanted to say to our board, we have a very effective board. I've looked back over the last several months of what we've been doing, what we've been able to accomplish as a board, and I know that we're up for it. This is election year, and I just want to say we have a fantastic board that is focused on children, not individuals, but we have a board, a team. So congratulations, and I hope we are able to stay, and the taxpayers and all the people in Elizabethton will realize that we have something special right now. I would like to say thank you to everyone that, including Mr. Campbell, for the Todd McKeon opportunity, just to celebrate his life that happened recently. It was student-led, but also had a lot of participation, including Mr. Alexander and a couple people from the past, Miss Johns, and a couple people from his past that were compadres that worked with him, and especially on the day where he passed away. So it was just a really special tribute to him. So thank you for everyone that was able to make that. We have a school safety proposal we're working on to try to combat some of the things that we know are going on. We have students attending the march this coming weekend to really just get the conversation going in our community. Hopefully they will come back. XQ has sponsored them to go, and we want to really listen to what they have to say. And I would say something for all of our principals. During this time where there's been a lot of uncertainty, during this time where we've had a lot of uncertainty as a nation about school and safety, I think our principals have done a great job to open those lines of communication with our students and listen to what they have to say, as well as look for opportunities where we can become more safe as a school system. And Mr. Van Hus was part of our safety training last year. He led that, and as our safety officer, he's worked with a lot of different things, brought training in, and some of the state training that we needed to do, and we looked at our plans and reviewed those. So we do have plans in place for school safety. We have been updating those, and we have had all of our faculties go through all safety protocols that we currently have in place. And there's been a lot of discussion, like Mr. Hurley said, with his faculty, talking about different things we could do to make it safer. And so that's part of what we're putting together as a proposal of what we might do with money we have in the future. The budget process is moving forward. Part of what we had this evening was an opportunity for you to see some of the things we would like to fund. If you have any other concerns or questions, we'd love to sit and entertain those as we look and finalize our budget to come back to you for a vote. Hopefully, April, another workshop, and then May will be an opportunity for us to vote and look at that. Niswonger Foundation, we are currently working on a rural grant that will focus on middle school, and that's pretty exciting what it's going to do for our school system and a lot of the others in the region that Niswonger works with. Former superintendent from Kingsport, Richard Kitzmiller, and former superintendent from Johnson City, Richard Bales, are running that together. And so they have invited us to go. So Mr. Barry is going to be working with me on that to make that work. Proud to report that the board studied our school lunch situation for probably about a year and a half. Really, a lot of the changes that we have made have absolutely transformed our school system as far as profits go, and able to give more choices to students and that type of thing. T.A. Duggar is coming back, and they are going to be trying some of those as well. And we're looking forward to our first student tasting day that we're going to do at the high school. And Miss Williams is working with me to bring products in, and we're going to try to test them out on our kids. Mr. Boatman worked with me this week. We talked about that and try to see if we have some more things that they might be interested in eating that fit our menu and diet program that we currently have. So we're hoping they can be the recipients and help us make decisions. Thank you to Mr. Trent and all that he has been doing with transforming our new computer lab. And the maintenance staff has worked really hard, especially Mr. Perkins, who we recognized a couple months ago. And so the Connie Baker room that's down there, we're slowly but surely making progress. And if you want to see that on the way out, you can come down and look at the progress. It's dusty right now, but hopefully very soon we'll have something for you to view as a new part of the building. The last thing I'd like to say is, this is kind of bringing us into this century, but I really think that we've talked about in the past moving forward with e-meetings from TSBA. And we're about to the point with as many trees as we did away with doing these packets, that it would be an opportunity for us for not a lot of money. The initial subscription's about $2,000, and then it's about $1,500 from each year after that. But we would have devices, and we would work with that, but everything would be there for all of you. I know Dr. May already uses a device. But I think that that's something we want to move forward with. If the board's okay with that, we would bring
As long as you teach us how to do it.
I will personally teach you how to do it. And I think that we're just to the point where we need to move forward. I know 2 districts locally, Johnson City and Sullivan County, do. Kingsport has their own that they do, but I really think it would make us a lot more efficient with what we're doing. And we would get a lot of use out of the devices that we would use. So if you're all with that, we'll try to work and move that forward this month.
Yes.
Dr. Gardner, Randall Bennett is the contact at TSBA for that. And I know in the past, I think Ms. Boer and I attended a meeting at the convention one year when he was presenting that, and I think he would probably be available to come and speak to the board, and maybe, do the training and that sort of thing. But definitely would be available if you, individually, if board members, if you wanted to call him, and talk to him at TSB, he'd be more than willing to talk to you about it.
Maybe they count that as a training.
Hey, he could just come once, for people who are interested, and rather than having to come separate times.
Sure. We'll call him and see what his availability is. Maybe pick a day he's on this side of the state. Okay, that's all.
That it? All right. Let's move to the regular agenda. First item, approve agreement between IntraQuest Detection Canines and Elizabethton City Schools from August 2018 through May 2019 at a cost of $3,000 for 10 visits. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
This has been a very important program to our school system. Again, our goal in doing this is that students would not bring anything in the first place. It's not as much about catching people that are not doing the right thing as trying to prevent people from bringing drugs and firearms into our schools. They have done a very good job this year working with our people, and also coming when we have had situations where we felt that we would just wanted to check. They've come on site, and they will also come on site when they're called for $300, basically is what it would cost us. But it's well worth it, I think, if we feel that there's a situation we want to look into and be sure about.
We are doing this now.
We are.
And this is the same company.
Same company.
So 10 visits for 3,000 and then additional visits for 300.
Yep. So if there was, we had an issue, it's sometimes a very good thing for us to be able to go through, especially with as much as they search for. They can find and do that. We'd use that judiciously, but there are times where I think it's a good.
Are they local?
They are not. They are from Knoxville area, and they travel, but they now have 45 school systems in the state use them. Wow. In Tennessee, and then in Alabama and Mississippi have several too.
Any other questions or comments? All right. Item on the floor, approve agreement between IntraQuest Detection Canines and Elizabethton City Schools from August 2018 through May 2019 at a cost of $3,000 for 10 visits. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, I'm going to read these next ones as one, so just daydream for a few minutes while I do this. Approve first reading of Board Policy 4.206 Special Programs as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 4.603 Promotion and Retention as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 4.606 Graduation Activities as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 4.700 Testing Programs as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 5.802 Qualifications and Duties of the Director of Schools as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 6.319 Alternative School Programs as revised. Approve first reading of Board Policy 6.405 Medicines as revised. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved. Could you
Thank you.
repeat that?
No, I cannot. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Anybody want to talk about any of these?
I just had a question on number 11, which is
That's attachment 13.
4.603. I think it's 11.
Is that graduation activities?
Promotion and retention.
No,
Which
I
one?
made a it's promotion and retention.
Okay, yeah, so that's
4.603.
item 9, yes, attachment 11.
On one page here, which I can't find. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's promotion and retention. On the second page, page 2, it says attendance. Attendance shall become a relevant factor only when excessive absenteeism becomes an educational problem. I was wondering, do we have a number on that?
Are you talking about our current policy?
Page 2 of 3.
2 of 3, that's our current policy. And what
Proposed.
Yes.
Okay.
Was that one of the ones that got changed?
it is, if you look back on the first, on 11, you'll see that that's changed
Okay.
It just says, pretty much says attendance. They probably saw the same thing you saw.
You
Probably
mean
need to
number
change it.
5?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to compliment Ms. Newman on all her work. I see this is your first attempt at all these revisions. Good job, that's a lot of work.
Any other questions or comments on anything? See, this isn't too bad, is it? It's never like this, so enjoy this. This is our, you know. All right. We're sure everybody's good? Okay. Item on the floor is approve first reading of Board Policy 4.206, 4.603, 4.606, 4.700, 5.802, 6.319, 6.405, approve on first reading. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Before we dismiss, if you would remember to RSVP to Elizabethton High School for all of the upcoming wonderful activities. This is such a good time of year. We will hopefully have a called meeting very soon to work on the resolution. And otherwise, the next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, April 17th, here at 6:30 in the Mac Pierce boardroom.
Workshop to proceed that, budget workshop.
Oh, yes, budget workshop at 5 o'clock. So that's round 2.
April
April 17th.
April 17th,
17th.
yeah.
But an additional work session prior to that. Okay.
Yes.
5 o'clock.
Okay.
All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second?
Thank you. Have a good evening.